Hi, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about empathic attunement, aka catching other people's emotions or emotion contagion, because I have been experiencing that this week, and I wanted to kind of process through it a little bit. So this is not something that is new to me. I've had this ever since I was a kid, or I've been like this ever since I was a kid. Because like the home environment was not the greatest, and I learned how to sense shifts in my mother's mood, because she was just, I'm pretty sure I know this is a tangent already. It's like not even a minute in, but I'm pretty sure she's probably autistic, because I've been doing some thinking, and there's a huge biological component to autism. And if I have to look at both of my parents, it's definitely not my dad, but it probably could be her. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's autistic. Or borderline personality disorder. Who knows? But I think that there's definitely some autism there. But I don't know. I don't remember this being a hard thing to do. I just remember it just came naturally to me. I don't remember having to study my mother's face that often. I'd probably be just because I got so used to her moods, I could predict what she was about to feel or what she might be feeling and not realize it. I don't know if that sounds weird or makes sense, but it's a superpower. I don't like how I got it, but I like what it's been doing for me. But also, is this something that's autistic? This is what I'm trying to figure out, because I like to categorize things and I don't know where to put this one. So just for some context, this week, Alicia hasn't been doing the greatest, emotion-wise. Her depression's been flaring up. Every so often she'll have these days where, she would rather just stay home and, not move. For those of you who have depression, I'm sure you understand. She's just had a couple of rough days this week, and she hasn't had any marijuana gummies since Monday or something, or whatever day it was. So yesterday when she got home from work, she was even downer than usual, or more down than usual. And I would say 80% of the time I'm not bothered by how she feels. What I mean is I don't like that she feels that way, but her feelings don't impact me directly, if that makes sense. I don't know. And then sometimes they do. So for an example, yesterday we were sitting in my room in our respective recliners right next to each other, and she was we were talking about what the show that we were watching a little bit, and she was doing that thing where I could tell that she was physically present, but she wasn't really mentally or emotionally present. It wasn't really hearing me. She was just kind of zoned out, and not just a normal daydream kind, but the depression kind. Just zoned out. And all of a sudden I went from feeling content, because most days I feel content, but I immediately went from that to feeling a whole bunch of stuff at once. Let's see if I can go through these. Irritation is definitely one of them, because it's just things aren't fun when she's like this. And I just want to reiterate, or not reiterate, but I just want to say that I'm not judging her. I know depression's not her fault or anything like that. I'm just talking about how it affects me, because I know it affects her way more because she has depression, but I'm just talking about how it affects me sometimes. That's all. So the feelings that I had what did I say just a little while ago? Oh, irritation. And then I had anxiety / worry, because I know when it gets to that point, there's nothing I can say or do that can even help her a little bit. Concern, because it's up in the air how long these kinds of times last for her. It could be a day, it could be like a week. Anger, I remember feeling a little bit. Yeah, I think I don't think it was at her. I mean, maybe it was. I don't know. I had a lot of it was just, it's, sorry for jumping around, but it's so hard to explain. Like, I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, you're feeling okay one minute, and then, like, you're fucking, livid. You're at the opposite end of the spectrum the next minute. And it only takes one thing. At least that's how it feels like to me. I don't know. But that's what happened yesterday. So last year, when we were on the brink of divorce, in hindsight, I was feeling these kinds of things because her depression was really, really bad last year. And I was personalizing what she was doing and thinking that it was directed at me because we were not communicating very well. It's not like I don't know that she has depression, but she's just recently been opening up more, using more words to describe things, and just letting me know hey, this is where I'm at, because I've mentioned before, she's the one person I have the most difficulty with reading. And I live with her and I'm married to her, and it's been a fucking decade. It's been more than that, and I still have difficulty reading her. So last year, it wasn't crossing my mind that how she was acting was a result of her depression, because she was still getting up and functioning. She was going to work, I guess I wasn't really reading between the lines or something, but, I got so affected emotionally by how she was that my reaction turned into anger, and then taking it out on her. And then blaming her for the state of our marriage, when in reality, neither of us really, we were just kind of doing the best we could, with our own lives, if that makes sense. She has so much going on. I had a lot going on. We were just trying to make it through each day for a while. And then, we didn't really stop and communicate like you're supposed to do. It was just a shit. Last year, the first 6 months was just shit. But anyways, now, so yesterday, that reminded me of how I felt last year. And so now I'm able to see that, you know what, this is why this is bothering me. She's explained to me that she gets like this when she's really depressed. And I realized that there's some times where it just affects me. I can't help it. I just start feeling down as well. And now I know why. And now I know that I don't have to be personalizing it because it doesn't have anything to do with me. And so last year, what I did when I had no knowledge of what was going on is when I got pissed enough, I would go to her room and I would accuse her of doing something emotionally neglectful. And I would say what I needed to say, and then I would leave and not give her the chance to say anything. And that's how it kept going on for the longest time. And so now I'm taking the opposite approach and I'm just fleeing, leaving. So when I felt this yesterday, sometimes I still don't really trust myself when I feel really negative, because it's such a, I don't I don't know anybody who likes feeling that way, but it really, really affects me. And I didn't want to say anything to her or that I would regret. So I just was I'm going to go into the other room for a little bit and let me know when you're done working on this. Because she was helping me upload some videos to YouTube because I don't know how to do that shit. And she was like, okay. And so 10 minutes later, she called for me and told me I was done. And I I could tell that she wasn't, like, she probably was making assumptions. So I told her how I was feeling. I was like, when you feel this way, sometimes I do as well. And I don't want to. I'm not trying to. It just happens. And it's not like she doesn't know this about me. But last night she was like, well, what were we doing? Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. We were... What were we doing? Oh, we go and we do cloud time. Sorry, my talking sucks and I have super dry mouth. Hold on. Very sorry. That mattress we bought last year feels like a cloud. So whenever we go to like chat or whatever, like we go there. So we call it cloud time. So we were there and like she was telling me that like she doesn't feel, she's just not been feeling right. She's been stressed, overwhelmed, tired, like all these different things. And I would make like, I feel like sometimes I'm in a lose-lose. Like if I don't make suggestions, which I thought, you're supposed to listen. And then like, I mean, like part of healthy communication isn't to just sit there and offer solutions for everything that this person has like a problem with. You know what I mean? Like I learned that because I used to be that person where somebody would say, I have this going on. This has been bothering me. And I would have 5 solutions that they could utilize to solve their problem. And it always pissed me off when people didn't. Like, and they still complained. And I'm like, well, then don't fucking talk to me. Like, I just gave you solutions. You're just sitting here saying the same thing. And I'm done now, so I'm going to go. And I know that that's not nice, but I just lost track of what the fuck I was saying. I really shouldn't have recorded today, but I needed to get this out. I'm sorry for being all over the place. But anyways, so I don't know, was it like several years ago, I was starting the process of figuring out like, who am I? Because that's when the issues with like my family started, where like I just kind of, it had got to where I had to cut them off because it was so toxic. And so that's when I got into therapy. That's when I started getting curious about myself and why I do the things that I do. And so I was researching stuff on the internet, not even knowing what I was looking for. And I came across this this website talking about like an empath. And that these are like people who like take on other people's emotions and they have like deep empathy. And I just remember like reading that and thinking, that sounds kind of corny. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm an empath. And I know that people say it. And if that's how they identify themselves as, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just for me, it feels weird saying I'm an empath. Because I don't think I am. And like a year after that, I came across HSPs, highly sensitive people, from Elaine Aron. She was the one that coined the term. I think it was like back in the 90s, mid 90s. She has books on highly sensitive people. She has it for parents, for kids. That was really helpful to me because I was like, oh, I'm highly sensitive. And it's like a whole thing where like, you feel pain more intensely, you feel emotions more intensely, and that sounds like autism to me. So this is where I get confused. Like, is an HSP that different from somebody who's autistic? Are they really that different? And I got stuck in this rabbit hole for like an hour last night. In my head, I was just like, oh my God, what if Elaine Aron just wrote all those books and did all that research? And it turns out that like she just has been researching autism and didn't even know it. I don't know. But at one point I thought that like, yeah, maybe I am a highly sensitive person. And you know what? Like I actually am. I don't need a label. Like I am highly sensitive. So I was trying to figure stuff out, and like what I'm learning about autism has just this keeps coming up in the stuff that like I'm researching and trying to learn about. And, you know, it's very common with autistics to take on other people's feelings, and which is like a direct contradiction to like the fucking bullshit that's out there saying that autistic people don't have empathy, they don't recognize like how somebody is feeling. What utter bullshit. Like, yeah, there are people like that. Like, yeah, but the majority of autistic people, no. Like, you can't just like, you know, pick like a demographic and be like, the majority of you are that. I don't know, maybe you can. I don't know what I'm talking about. I do it, so just forget that I said that. But that's not true. Like, I've read more about like autistic people having a lot of emotions, feeling them intensely, than I have about the other shit. So I wish that stuff would stop floating around, but it just seems that like this is an autistic trait. And that's the conclusion I'm coming to. Because again, like I really, in order to understand something like fully, I have to categorize it somewhere. And I wish I wasn't like this, but I am. And I've been trying to categorize this, like, do I just call it empathic attunement? I don't know. Like, am I like this because I'm autistic? And I wonder, because like I haven't done research on this, but like part of me wants to add this to the list I have of rabbit holes I'm gonna fucking crawl down this year. I want to kind of add it to the list and look it up and see, like, is there any research out there on this? Like, I don't know how to say it. Like, I mean, would people research this? I don't know. I was in college. Like, I don't know this shit. And I don't know why I said I was in college, because that has nothing to do with anything. No, I'm not high. I'm just like all over the place. I'm trying to fucking figure this issue out. But anyways, let me circle back around to me and Alicia. We're fine. Last night, before she went to bed, I explained, like, this is why I feel the need to run away really quickly when you're like this, and then I immediately feel like that, because if I don't want what happened last year to happen again. So, like, right now, my only plan is to just leave the room and stay away for, like, 30 minutes, an hour, and, like, just sort through how I'm feeling, and then, like, I won't feel that way. That sounds weird saying that, but, like, it's true. Like, I know what this is. I know I don't have to get stuck in it. I know it's not necessarily about me, and I just know that, like, I felt so intense yesterday with, like, how I felt. Well, it all just came on at once that, like, I had to leave. Like, I had to. I just have to go somewhere by myself. I've always been like that. Like, you know, when you're having, like, big emotions, at least for me, I don't want to have them around other people. Even, like, the positive ones. I don't know. But last night, she was like, even when I told her that I think it's because I'm autistic, and I'm not saying this as an excuse, I'm giving this as a possible explanation that, like, maybe this is why I take on your emotions sometimes, because she was like, can you stop doing that? And I said, I don't do it on purpose. And she was like, well, because when we were doing cloud time, she called me a wire monkey, because halfway through, when I realized that she wasn't going to listen to any of my suggestions. Oh, I forgot to finish that part of it. The suggestion thing. When, like, you're talking, like, you really oh my God, you guys probably have clicked off and I'm talking to myself by now. But, like, when you're, like, actively listening, you're supposed to actively listen and repeat back the information that you've been told, and, like, ask questions so the person knows they're being listened to. So I had started doing that instead of offering options. And so sometimes she gets annoyed when I offer options for how to solve a problem, and sometimes she gets annoyed when I don't offer anything, so I never know what to do. So I just went with offering things last night. I'm like, you can try this, you can try that. I did not tell her to try a gummy. I did, but it wasn't number one. It was, like, farther down on the list. And she didn't want to do any of that. And so I just shut down. I was thinking to myself, like, what's the point of this? This interaction isn't getting us anywhere. And so when I shut down is when she felt like I turned into a wire monkey, which I understand that because that's exactly what I was like. And I just felt kind of irritated last night when she had said that, like, I wish you could just have more empathy for me when I'm like this. And I said, I do. The majority of the time, I have so much empathy. These are the times where I don't have it. And I'm sorry, but like these times are way less frequent than me having empathy for you. Does that make sense to you guys? It's just I can't make myself feel something that I don't feel. But I'm not trying to throw her under the bus. Like, we're fine. She can listen to this episode. She won't, but which is good because, you know, I'd rather that nobody I know listen to this because I don't know what I sound like, but anyways, like, we're fine. I just wanted to get on here and process through this because this has been something that, like, I continuously experience, and it's not just with her. It used to be when I would work at other places and you'd see the same people every day, and you can just walk into a room and you can tell that there's fucking tension. And for me, I was able to spot where it was coming from. Now I don't really deal with this with other people because I'm not around other people. Yeah, so I guess she is the source of it mostly right now. But I wish I wasn't like this. I wish I didn't just catch feelings like that, and just saying that sounds stupid, but I don't know. I don't know if this is a helpful episode. I guess I should say that, like, Alicia's actually back in her room right now, zoned out because she took a gummy. Like, she texted me and she's like, oh, because she was at work, and she was like, I think I might take a gummy when I come home just to get some relief because her depression has not been good, like I said. So what did I do is I pulled out my different containers of different stuff that I have, and I cut each gummy into fourths instead of halves so that hopefully, like, she can still function. And she would take, like, she took a quarter of one of them, and I go back there like an hour later and she looks like she's just enjoying life. Like, she's just sitting there watching TV, had a smile on her face, and I was like, well, look, you're getting some relief just like you wanted. You know, and I'm not just, like, I know marijuana doesn't solve feelings, like, that it doesn't, like, fix your feelings, or, you know, it just, you guys know, if you use marijuana, you know. But I didn't offer a gummy to her. She asked for one, so I just thought I would say that. But I'm getting to where I'm just rambling now. Please let me know. My email is somewhere. I don't remember where. Description somewhere. I don't know. But can you maybe email me and let me know, like, do you experience this as well? Like, do you take on somebody's negative emotions? Because I would really like to know. I haven't met anybody that says that they're like this. So I'm seeing that, like, it's a lot of autistic people are like this. So I really would like to talk to somebody just so I can understand this aspect of myself better. So I guess I'm just going to have to end this episode because I'm really sorry for how it sounds, and I hope it was beneficial in some way, and thanks for listening. Goodbye.